I'm giving you the last warning. You have not listened to me and you have not changed. Wow. Man, I just expected this video to be like some spooky stuff, but this is disturbing. Oh gosh. But like that's real. All right, what's going on, guys? Mr. here. Hope you're staying happy, healthy, and hydrated. And welcome back to another spooky video, mate. So tonight we're going to be watching creepy and scary TikToks that are so creepy and scary that you'll really badly want to not be watching them, maybe. Anyway, I've got a question for you guys, okay? It's really important. Let me know down in the comments if you think this is a good idea. So I've always been interested in spooky, creepy, and strange things. So much so that lately I've been thinking about potentially making some videos where I am the storyteller reading out these unsolved mysteries, cases, missing persons, disappearances, and all those interesting things. So yeah, if you think that will be something you'll be interested in, let me know. Otherwise, scary and creepy TikToks to keep you up all night, tonight, every night. Right now, let's do this. Let's go.
The creepiest place in every state. Iowa, Stony Hollow Road. Known as the most haunted road in its state. Outside the city of Burlington lies a long stretch of gravel, which is known to be haunted by the ghost of a woman named Lucinda. It's said she jumped off a nearby cliff after her husband left her. Ever since that day, people claim to see her ghost on the side of the road. Legend says if you ever see her holding a rose, run. As if she lays the rose by your feet, it means your death is near. Would you want to visit?
Yes, as weird as it might sound, yes, I would love to visit. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, come on. Don't be a little baby. Come on, let's book a flight. Let's go. You might not have to book a flight. I will, because I'm over here in Australia land. I'm upside down.
Morbid Facts, Part 50. Actor Jake Lloyd played young Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars The Phantom Menace. But at the age of 12, he retired from acting permanently due to bullying and destroyed all of his Star Wars memorabilia. Years later, he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia after being involved in a high-speed car chase with police. In a Mexican prison in 2020, two rival drug cartels decided to put their differences aside and play a friendly soccer match. Somehow the game ended with 16 people dead.
I was just about to say, that's amazing. That's really good. Good work. Just playing some... Okay, I didn't expect that at the end, right? Okay.
The first suicide hotline was started by a British priest named Chad Verra in 1953. He decided to start it after directing a funeral for a girl who took her own life when she had her first period. She thought she contracted an STD and had no one to talk to reassure her that she was fine. In 2020, a Jesus statue in India had water mysteriously dripping from its toes. Worshippers flocked from all over to collect and even drink this miracle water.
Oh no.
Soon enough, the source of the water was found to be a clogged toilet near the statue.
That's why you don't. That's why you don't. You shouldn't. Okay. What is that you say? God told yous. Yes, please. I mean, yeah, that could, yeah. I feel sick, mate. Yum. Okay. Disturbing facts.
Facts you wish you could unhear. Part 3.
All right.
This video shows a man playing Dance Dance Revolution being recorded by some people making fun of him. 6 months later, the man Adam Lanza would murder his mother, then drive to Sandy Hook Elementary where he would murder 6 adults and 20 children.
Whoa.
A 46-year-old man found and attacked a 13-year-old boy because he was killing him too many times in a game of Call of Duty. There have been numerous cases of people's intestines being sucked out of them by vacuum toilets on airplanes. So if you want to keep your insides, make sure to stand up before flushing.
Surely that's not the case these days, is it? I don't go on planes. Okay, I haven't been on planes since I was like a little kid, so... Can you educate me? Let me know down below. Is that still the case? But surely they would have some sort of warning or safety measure in place so that doesn't happen, right? Oh, that's... Imagine that. Oh, you really want to get rid of all that shit? Take a seat, mate. Just, oh, I can feel it.
A man once donated his mother's deceased body for scientific research. He later discovered that the research facility sold her body to the US Army for $5,000 where they would blow it up with explosives.
What? I mean, hold on. I don't know how to say this without sounding disrespectful. That kind of is... It's for research, right? Like, they were just to see... You know? I don't know. If you read the fine print, it should say somewhere, we may possibly blow your mum the fuck up.
These are videos humans were never meant to see. Okay, so we all know about the ancient pyramids in Egypt, but have you ever seen what it looked like from the top?
Yes.
Probably not, but you're about to.
Not myself.
There's just something about it that's extremely unsettling.
Yeah, all the little engravings and writing.
Okay, so there's only been a couple documented videos of people on top of the pyramids, and that is one of them. The pyramids have been around for 4,500 years, and the fact that they're still standing is just mind-blowing, but what's more mind-blowing is that somebody actually got to the top of it and gave us such a spectacular view. Some Egyptians back in the day definitely stood there at some point in their lives and enjoyed the same exact view just in a different world 4,500 years ago. So let me know if you would try and risk it and get to the top.
4,500 years ago. I feel like it's a lot longer than that. I don't know. Okay.
So let me know if you would try and risk it and get to the top of the pyramids, because this person did and got a once-in-a-lifetime view that none of us will ever experience.
Yeah, but I mean, these days you definitely couldn't do that. I mean, you can't even take a proper camera in there. I mean, let alone just climb up the top of it. I think the video that I've seen is someone who, I think they were hang gliding. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they were hang gliding and they got close enough over the top of it where you could see these little engravings and words and stuff like that. Now, I don't know exactly what they said or if it was done by other people who have been up there or if it was old. I'd imagine it's not that old, the carvings up the top of them, because that would get a lot of direct rain and the wind would be a lot stronger up there, so erode a lot quicker. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I don't know. Anyway, on to the next one. Let's do this. Let's go now.
Japanese yokai, kamikiri, the barber yokai. Kamikiri are small creatures with a scissor-like beak and has hands like razors. They are small enough to sneak quietly through open windows and doors. The main goal of a kamikiri is to cut a person's hair off. They will hide under roof tiles and will wait for someone to pass by. Often, the victim is asleep in bed when the kamikiri attacks. In the olden days, they are feared because having long hair was the only fashion back then. But nowadays, with different hairstyles being popular, they are no longer feared.
So, to stop the fear, you just change your hair. I mean, that's a good trade-off. I mean, I barely have any hair. I'm not in Japan. But still, I'm safe. Right?
Morbid Facts, Part 47.
Okay.
Bruce's son Brandon was accidentally killed while filming for The Crow when he was only 28 years old. A prop gun was loaded improperly, causing dummy bullets to fire at him with the same force as live ammunition. Author of Frankenstein, Mary Shelley, is said to have lost her virginity on top of her mother's grave. She also kept her dead husband's heart and carried it around for 30 years until her death in 1851. In 2014, Harvard University discovered that 2 books in their library were bound using human skin. One of the books is called Destinies of the Soul, and inside, the author left a note that read, "A book about the human soul deserved to have a human covering."
I agree. Yeah, that makes complete sense. I mean, it just sells the book even more. Yeah, it's more interesting to read if you know what you're touching actually has human skin on it. Now, I know that's disgusting, but I think it's pretty cool.
In 2015, a woman claimed that she could smell Parkinson's disease. To test this, doctors gave her 12 shirts to smell and 6 of them were from Parkinson's patients. She correctly identified the 6 shirts, but also chose one from the control group. 8 months later, that person was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I guess like different humans have different sight. You can see different things, hear different things, and smell different things just depending on how your body is. Everyone's senses work slightly differently than everyone else's. But I believe it. I believe it. Obviously, she was correct with what she was smelling anyway, but you know, very interesting. Humans are cool.
So I've seen videos that Japan wanted to make real life Pikachus, and they have. Nintendo wanted to take this project. For the past, I'd say 7-8 years, they were extracting DNA from rabbits, hamsters, and eels. And I don't know what's the rate from each, but they made an animal that looks like a Pikachu. It also has the red cheeks, yellow body, and like black ears and like a black nose, black eyes. 5 years later, they have made this Pikachu.
The photos they're showing here, I think are AI generated. These aren't real. They're just to, you know, help with the story.
Okay, the eel DNA that they extracted is because they wanted to give him zapping powers like Pikachu.
Why give
Electricity, like real electricity.
Why are
that
you like
comes-
weaponizing this shit?
They got this. They made this animal.
Yeah.
And they wanted to test it out. It looks so cute. It's like so innocent, you know? Bro, wallah, it looks exactly like Pikachu, bro. They brought this thing home and they wanted to test it out as a pet in a household. It was so like vulnerable, cute, you know? One day, these people go out, they come back home, their dog is dead. This thing is so territorial, bro. This thing is so violent. And then people are like, if we created Pokemons and we made Pokemons real,
Yeah.
we would be doomed, bro.
I know there's a lot of weird shit we can do with science, like, but why? I mean, I know everyone loves Pikachu. Pikachu's cool. Pokemon is extremely famous. I love Pokemon, but I'm not gonna try and make a Pikachu, man. I mean, it's cute, it's cool, but if it doesn't exist, don't try and make it, okay? You're gonna mess something up somewhere along the line.
If your dog starts acting like this, it may be warning you of an evil presence. A tattoo artist in Sydney, Austin, was woken up at 5:30 a.m. by her dog Coda. Terrible. What exactly did Coda see that caused her to act in such a way? Let me know what you.
I don't know. Yeah, dogs can see some weird stuff that we can't see. I think there was some research going on that apparently dogs and cats can see, to a certain extent, frequencies. Like they can actually see the frequencies. I don't know anything about that. I'm just mentioning it. So, you know, educate me below. That's what I've heard. I'm not out here saying it's true. That's just, yeah.
Somehow, these pictures just keep getting worse and worse for me. So this is a still that was captured on the motion camera that was stationed in Janelle Churg's living room. It is the man that police definitively believe attacked her on this night. Neil lived alone, and a lot of people live alone. A lot of people have security cameras. We all kind of have these things, right? So you can only imagine when she woke up to an alert on her phone, and this was the person that she saw on her living room camera. As the story goes, by the following morning, her sister had actually arrived to pick up Janelle because they were supposed to go to a farmer's market together. She found her sister's head sitting at the front door of her apartment. This man who was seen on camera was never identified in the case. It actually left a lot of people wondering, you know, if her security cameras captured this, why did her alarm never go off?
Oh, mate, listen, look at the goosebumps on that. Oh, I don't know if you can tell. Oh, that's just terrifying. I mean, what a terrible thing. Oh man, okay.
Loopsy Gamers has been facing some really creepy paranormal events in her home lately. In this first video that I'm about to show you guys, titled Witch Shapeshifts into Cat, she captures something really strange on camera. Check this out.
¿Quién eres? Tú no eres un gato. ¿Qué pasó? Ay, ¿qué es eso? Vete de aquí, ¿quién eres? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Quién eres? Te estoy grabando. ¿Quién eres? ¿Por qué estás aquí en mi casa? Tú no eres un gato. Tú no eres un gato. Te ordeno que te vayas de mi casa. ¡Ay! ¡No manches! ¡No manches! ¿Qué es eso, Regina? Se abrió la puerta. Se abrió la puerta. Se abrió la puerta. ¡Uy, güey! Se me abrió la puerta. Vámonos.
Strange, isn't it? But it gets stranger. In another video, she's playing heads and tails with her daughter when all of a sudden this happens.
Okay.
No.
Why are they playing it in the dark?
Tal vez. Como porque, ay, Regina, la tiras casi, la quieres aventar hasta la otra cuadra. Tal vez. ¿Qué pasó?
I didn't understand what was going on at first with the cat one. I mean, I didn't see anything weird. Maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. I thought I was, but I don't know. But that last one, yeah, I don't know. Why were they playing it in the dark? I can't understand what they're saying, so maybe there's a reason, but that was, yeah, spooky. Something popped up behind her. Freaky, made me jump. What do you think?
Another true crime story of how they were caught, and happy Mother's Day. Charles Neiman and his wife Devin went into a convenience store to get snacks when they were approached by a male. The man wanted to rob Charles and instead shot him twice, killing him. The wife described the attacker as a younger Hispanic male. The convenience store footage had a camera inside. Though grainy, it did show some information. It showed a gray pickup truck enter the lot. A front passenger opened up the door for a back passenger who was the suspect. Found a black t-shirt in a nearby alley and two .40 caliber shell casings. The officer noticed a square firing pin which indicated a Glock. Well, a man in Colorado heard about the crime and actually thought he encountered the suspects before the crime took place. He said he saw three men in a gas station with a Chevy truck with Louisiana plates. Police didn't have much else to go on, so they used an investigative tool called IBIS, and they entered the casings into the Integrated Ballistic Identification System. Very similar to the DNA databases and the fingerprint databases, but it's for casings and bullets. They take high-definition scans of the bullets and casings, and they can use those to link to other cases, such as cold ones. Bullets and casings have unique markings that can help police identify the gun used. When police entered the casings into the database, there was no match, and the case went cold. Police got a small amount of DNA from the black shirt, but it was a weak sampling, and they weren't able to get a full profile. 4 years later, police tried to use the IBIS system again, but this time they expanded to other states other than Oklahoma. This time they got a match to a Glock that was recovered in Denver, Colorado from a previous crime. But the man who had the gun had a solid alibi and was not a suspect in the case. This is because guns used in crimes, especially with gangs, travels all over. So police traced the Glock serial number and it came back to a police chief in Louisiana whose gun was stolen. Turns out a gray pickup truck was stolen that same day in Louisiana. The victim with the stolen pickup truck told police he noticed a cigarette butt in his driveway and he didn't smoke. So police collected it and they were able to get a DNA hit off of it. DNA came back to a man named Zach Wilson. When police showed him a photo of the victim, he started crying in the fetal position and quickly confessed to the crime. He said he had gone on a multi-state crime spree with his half-brother and a friend. His half-brother, Tim...
Don't all three of them look like they did it? I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not just gonna send them to jail just because they look like it, without evidence, of course. But I mean, if you just showed me those photos, I'd probably say, yeah, those three dudes murdered someone. I don't know, man. Anyway.
Timothy D's turn to commit a crime. He robbed the victim, freaked out, and actually shot him out of panic. He said they later fled to Colorado and he tried to sell the gun, but somebody else actually stole it from him. Zach and the friend got 25 and 35 years, but the half-brother who shot the victim got life with the possibility of parole. Casings in a cigarette butt solved this case, and that was how they were caught.
This man killed his daughter and then her 6 children or his 6 grandchildren. This is the 911 call made by Don Spirit after committing these murders. Just listen to this and I'll explain the whole case after.
Okay.
Yokai County 911, what's the address of the emergency?
Yes, ma'am. I just shot my daughter and shot all my grandkids, and I'll be sitting on my step, and then when you get here, I'm going to shoot myself.
What is the address that you're at, sir?
2550 Northwest, 25 Paris, Don Spirit. Every one of them are dead.
You said your name is Don Spirit?
Yep.
All right, Don, what kind of gun do you have?
It doesn't matter what kind of gun I got. They're all dead, and then when you get here, I'll shoot myself, and then you figure out what kind of gun it is.
How long ago this happened, Don?
I don't want to hear it, man. I'm done with every thing. Just bring them out here, that's all. You got all the kids are dead in the house.
Okay, how many people?
6 kids, 1 adult.
Don Spirit was the father of Sarah Spirit, who had 6 children of her own. Don then murdered his daughter Sarah and his 6 grandchildren, including the youngest being a baby. He was very manipulative and abusive, and he eventually just exploded. He shot all the members of the family, and the baby's cause of death is still unknown to society, which is very disturbing. And the crazy thing is, he already killed his son years prior, but it was ruled an accident.
Oh man. Oh gosh. Wow. That. Oh, I know a lot of these clips are, you know, just random spooky stuff, but like that's real. That's. Oh my gosh, man. That's terrible. That's, I don't even know what else to say. That's just bad. Okay, TikTok, where is the sky? What do we got here?
Just saw somebody up here and it's the scariest shit I've ever seen, dude. Like, I was just down here and I was back down there in that corner right there, and I literally just like can't. What the fuck?
What?
Another true crime story of how they were caught. In 2008, in Columbia, Illinois, Chris Coleman and his family started receiving threatening emails and letters. Chris Coleman, an ex-Marine, did security work for a popular ministry, and the work started receiving threatening emails as well, such as "I will kill them all in their sleep." 6 months later, the Coleman family received a letter in the mail that was not postmarked, so it was hand-delivered, and it said things like, "This is going to be your worst nightmare."
Let's try and read that. His head's in the way of it a bit, but I'm giving you the last warning. You have not listened to me and you have not changed your ways. I've warned you to stop traveling and to stop carrying on with this fake religious life of stealing people's money. You think you are so special to do what you do, protecting, or think you are protecting her. She is a blah, 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 and not worth you doing it. Stop today or else. I know your schedule. You can't hide ever. I'm always watching, blah, blah, blah. Oh man, wow.
It's not postmarked, so it was hand-delivered, and it said things like, "This is going to be your worst nightmare." Then in May 2009, Chris woke up early to go to the gym and later couldn't get a hold of his wife, so he asked his detective neighbor to check on her. At the house, the detective noticed an open window in the back, and he went inside and discovered something horrific. The detective noticed red spray paint all over the walls, saying things like, "Bitch, you are punished." He went upstairs and found Chris Coleman's wife and 2 children dead. An autopsy would later reveal that all 3 of them had been strangled. Detectives then did a routine background check on the husband, Chris, and found out he was having an affair with his wife's good friend. Detectives actually flew out to Florida to interview his mistress while they were still interviewing Chris Coleman about the crime, but the mistress didn't give much information. Police had collected samples of the spray paint and learned exactly what type of spray paint it was, the brand, the make. Digging into Chris's financials, they learned he had actually purchased the same spray paint on his credit card months earlier. An autopsy had also showed that all 3 victims had rigor mortis, which is the stiffening of the muscles, which generally takes place around 2 hours after someone stops breathing. This was a red flag for detectives because Chris said he went to the gym, and an hour later, all 3 victims were found in rigor mortis, and this conflicted with his timeline. Forensics believed the time of death to be at about 3 in the morning, which means Chris would have been home at the time. Then detectives did what's called a KQ analysis, where they looked at writing samples from Chris and also from the threatening messages. Detectives found out that Chris would often put the apostrophes in the wrong place, and the threatening messages did the same thing. They learned Chris spelled the word opportunity wrong, and he put words together such as good times instead of separating them. Police believe Chris did not want to get fired from his ministry job for committing adultery, and that the only option was to kill his family so he could start a new life with his mistress. CEO of where Chris worked also said that he hadn't missed work in 11 years and called in sick the day before the murder. He was also seen on a neighbor's camera playing catch with his sons the day before the crime, and had been planning this for at least 6 months. Police believe the mistress was not involved and she was not charged, but Chris would get life in prison, and that was how he was caught.
He kept hearing.
Wow. Man, I just expected this video to be like some spooky stuff, but this is disturbing. Oh gosh. So what I was saying at the start of the video in the intro, when I was saying, would you like to see these types of videos? This is the stuff I'm talking about, but I'm the one telling the stories of all these weird cases and stuff like that. Like, I would be interested in reading and hearing about them myself, but also it would be fun to just read them out and make a video on it. So, oh man, that is messed up.
He kept hearing noises while working in an abandoned facility, but he would soon find out going there was a mistake. A plumber named Corbin Finn was called in to fix a leak at an urgent care facility near north of Houston. Strange enough, the place has been recently abandoned for unknown reasons. As Corbin made his way down the empty halls to find the source of the leak, something hiding in the building made itself known to him. Whoever or whatever was hiding in the building rushed down the stairs towards him, but no one can be seen. Confused as to who or what could be inside this closed down facility, he investigates, and by doing so, this happens.
I was gonna say, this looks like, I've seen this clip many times on a couple of different videos I've done, but this one looks slightly different, but I think it's just because they've put that film overlay and the video just looks darker, but I think it's the same.
Kind of looks like the fucking back rooms.
And then you hear a big thud.
It looks very culty. There's a stage up here. It looks like a couple of altars next to him.
Boom.
Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Have you ever heard of the Japanese urban legend of Rokurokubi?
Nope.
Rokurokubi is a type of yokai, a supernatural creature from Japanese folklore. They are depicted as female spirits with long necks that can stretch and contort at will. They are known for their ability to appear as normal humans during the day and transform into their true form at night. According to legend, Rokurokubi were once humans who, through various circumstances, became cursed with this supernatural ability. Some stories suggest that they were cursed by the gods as punishment for their misdeeds, while others suggest that they were cursed by evil spirits. Rokurokubi are often portrayed as seductive women who lure men to their deaths, using their long necks to wrap around their victims' necks and strangle them. Other legends describe them as mischievous spirits who delight in scaring people and causing chaos. Despite their sinister reputation, not all Rokurokubi are evil. Some stories depict them as victims of their curse, longing to be freed from their supernatural affliction. Others show them as helpful spirits who aid humans in their time of need.
There's a lot of awesome like folklore and a bunch of stories from Japan. And I think, I don't know, maybe China as well. I have no idea, but some of the most interesting ones are from Japan. I don't know why, but I haven't read it yet, but I saw some article or something somewhere recently where it said Japan confirmed the existence of paranormal. Now, I'm going to have to dig around and have a look at that because I haven't read it yet, but that seems pretty interesting.
Ways people passed away. Part 2. This is Hugo Abalos. In 2013, he was working his factory job just like any other day, but little did anyone know is that something would go terribly wrong. He was operating a meat blender, but suddenly he lost balance, falling face first into it, dying instantly. This photo shows a Chinese college student named Deng just before going on a trip to the top of a mountain. While at the top, she was taking selfies, but suddenly she lost balance, tripping over a metal railing, plummeting to her death. In 2008, a Chinese zookeeper was tending to the crocodiles as usual, but little did anyone know is that something would go horribly wrong. One of the crocodiles got a bit too close and bit him. Suddenly 4 more joined in. This would ultimately lead to his death.
Crocodile death. I mean, they're all pretty terrible stories. That first guy though, I'm glad he died instantly. It would have been terrifying. It's a terrible way. Sorry for his family and friends' loss, but at least he died instantly, you know? At least there wasn't any pain or suffering at the time for him. Okay, all right.
All right, guys, let's talk about these timeout dolls. Behind me is a timeout doll. These were used way back in the day, over 30, 40 years ago. Usually someone's grandparents would have this, and if the kid was misbehaving, they'd be like, look at the doll, that's going to be used soon. Or they would put this doll in timeout with the kid, which is even weirder. A lot of the newer generation who got the timeout dolls do not like them for obvious reasons. These things are so creepy. This is the front of the timeout doll. It literally has no face. This is even more unsettling when you consider the fact that a lot of people claim that these things would run around the house and move. Granted, a lot of kids saw this, so it might be their imagination running wild, but just the thought of that makes me uneasy. In 2020, pranks were being played on this town, and these timeout dolls were just all over the place trying to scare people. Let me play that clip for you guys.
Okay.
It would be stealing your sleep. Dolls are just creepy in general to me. I don't like them. About a week ago, a toy meant for play started causing panic across Festus and Crystal City, as one after another kept popping up in
Yeah, it's a definite no from me. Let me know what you guys think about these timeout dolls in the comment section below, or if you've seen it in real life.
Yeah, I've seen it in real life. In fact, I've stood next to one in timeout. I'm pretty sure it was I can't remember where. I'd have to say it would be my grandma's house. I've got 2 grandmas, one on my side of the family and one on the other side of the family. And I think it was my grandma on the other side of the family. She had a lot of cool old stuff, including a lot of weird dolls and things like that. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. And I'm pretty sure I've sat next to one in timeout. I could be wrong, but I think I remember it. Well, that was the video, the spooky videos. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to go and make another coffee because that was my first one of the day, and I'm going to enjoy another while I edit. So yeah, hopefully you had a fantastic day, fantastic night, whatever time it is. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and let me know down in the comments if you would like to see some of those videos that I was talking about, where I will be doing the storytelling of these weird cases, unsolved mysteries, sightings, and just stories in general. That being said, take care of yourself, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.